All right. It's that time. It's time for Beyond Sight and Sound. Let's do this.
Are you looking for a high-quality beach and sand scoop? Are you trying to take your hunting to the extreme? How about an American-based company that stands behind their product and everything they sell? Then check out our friends over at XTREME Scoops. John has been making scoops for some time now and makes a quality beach and sand scoop to take your hunting to the next level. XTREME Scoops recently released their new sand shredder that works great in the water and on the beach. And if you're a new Equinox user, you may want to check out his Surfmaster X3 that can trap those small targets you new Equinox users are finding out there. XTREME Scoop's company approach is let's do it right. So do it right, buy it once, and go to the extreme. XTREMEScoops.com. That's XTREME scoops.com.
Hey boys and girls, we are going to talk about S&W shooters and prospectors. What is S&W shooters and prospectors?
We at S&W Shooters and Prospectors help people find treasure.
Did you say treasure?
Yes, treasure. Just listen to this amazing review from our happy customer, Jackie Sparrow.
Chocolate ship shape and a pleasure to deal with. I was able to buy everything that I needed at prices that were shillings less than others. I found my 9 pieces of 8 in no time. Savvy?
I know you're asking yourself, why should I shop at S&W Shooter and Prospectors?
Chuck Smalley has over 45 years of metal detecting experience. He works with each customer one-on-one to customize their setup to match their skill level.
So if you always dreamt of being a pirate, contact Chuck at S&W Shooters and Prospectors and he'll take a great deal for you.
iPads and rum not included.
Caution. Please do not operate motor vehicles or power equipment while under the influence of this show. Listening to this show could cause side effects such as bouts of laughter, violent binges of cabin fever, and even dreams of silver and gold. Please be advised. Now that the fine print is out of the way, on with the show.
All right, we're back once again. Now, situation at hand. Currently, gee, this feels like a Star Trek episode. Stardate 1/13/24. Anyway, I know you're used to hearing from us Wednesdays and Sundays, 8 p.m. Eastern. And currently, at the time of this recording, It is actually Saturday, January 13th, 10:15 in the evening. There we go with the quarter again. So basically, we're not going to keep folks long at all this time. Not long at all. This is just our opportunity to take a chance and say our farewells, so to speak. Yep, that's right. C'est la vie, adios, good riddance, goodbye. Not to you folks, but to Spreaker. So, in the past episodes, and we appreciate everyone for hanging in there with us as we were trying to get the situation at hand resolved, and we've been alluding in the past few episodes that we were working on things behind the scenes. And I know that there have been some listeners that seem to think that I'm getting frustrated dealing with a technical issue on my end. And I keep saying, all I can tell you is what I'm hearing from Spreaker. And that's what I've been relating to you great folks. And I've also been in communication, although not to much of any degree of success, with Spreaker to try and find a resolution to the matter while I was working on things behind the scenes, because we needed to have a contingency plan in place just in case this looked like an issue that was going to stretch on and drag out for more than a few weeks. And we appreciate the fact that you guys and gals have hung in there with us while we've tried to reach a solution rather than an impasse. So, basically, we've been having this issue now for, 3 weeks, you might as well say, that you folks have been dealing with pre-recorded broadcasts. Yeah, you guys and gals are still having fun in the chat during the pre-recorded broadcast, and that's great. That is awesome. However, tonight, we are in the process of making the final changes for everything. And that is what this episode is for. This episode is to let those of you that follow us on Spreaker know how to find us. Not saying we're moving on up, but we're moving on out. We've tried to cooperate. We've tried to play nice. We've tried to do everything that we can. And there's no sense at all in us basically paying for a service that we can't even use, and you folks can't enjoy the way that we once did in the past. And although it does not bring me a lot of pleasure to have to say this, because we have been with Spreaker for more than 7 years with the Beyond Sight and Sound project. You know, metal detecting, treasure hunting, radio. And we've had a lot of good times over here. But with that being said, sometimes change can be a good thing. And it's that time. It's time for a change. It's time for us to move on. We can't keep, doing the same thing and expecting to have a different end result. You hit your head against the wall, and maybe it smarts a little bit. You do it again, maybe it smarts a little more. And if you're smart, you start to ask yourself, gee, why does it hurt every time I do this? Well, maybe if you'd quit smacking your head against the wall, it wouldn't hurt. It's that built-in self-preservation that's ingrained into all of us. And that's what we're doing here on Spreaker. We're beating our head against the wall. And we're wondering why it hurts. There has to be a simpler way. There just has to. Now, I can't tell you all the logistics behind it. Why or what happened to cause the chaos that is about to come down on Spreaker, or what prompted the change that is going to cause this effect. But that's neither here nor there. I'm not here to give you all of the explanation on what caused it, because I can't give you those answers. All I can tell you is that it's time for us to move. So with that in mind, I guess you can call this our final episode here on Spreaker before the mic falls silent. We may go ahead and run another short clip in a week or something like that, or a couple of clips, just to let those know that are straggling behind, hitting the archives or whatever, where they can find us. But we've moved on. The show name is still the same. The cover art is still the same. So it's still the logo you're used to seeing. It's still the show you're used to dropping into. Except moving on, we will not be here on Spreaker. We have already moved the entire catalog, all 800 episodes, over to another podcast hosting service known as PodBean. It's like Jelly Bean, but for podcasts. The candy fans like jelly beans. The people with sweet tooths, they like jelly beans. Well, this is for podcasts. PodBean.com. And we'll leave maybe we can leave a link in the description of this episode, and we'll post a link up on the Beyond Sight and Sound page on Facebook, letting folks know where we can be found on PodBean. And for those that like to follow the audio podcast side of things, or the archives will still be available. They'll be available on demand over on PodBean. They will be available on demand through your favorite podcast distribution service. We have managed to maintain all of the distribution that we've acquired, not only here, but from previous venues, and even picked up a few more along the way. So as we leave Spreaker with just I hate to have to start over. I really do. Because we're leaving Spreaker with an insanely sick number of followers. And likewise, an insanely sick number of episodes and downloads. And we're going into PodBean, which is a hosting service of over 600,000 podcasts. And right now, to the untrained eye, we look like the new kid on the block. Because we have had activity over there. Just not a whole lot yet. And, I mean, you can't have more than 800 episodes and only have a minimal amount of activity. That's why we look like a new kid on the block, because the analytics have just started in over there on PodBean. Now, with that being said, I can tell you that with PodBean, we are getting a much deeper analytical insight into not only where people are tuning in from, but what they're tuning in through, whether they're using a podcast app, whether they're using a browser, what country they're coming from, how many plays a day, how many plays a week, how many plays a month, all of that stuff. All that jazz. And that's great. That's great to see. And we have all the episodes over there for anybody who may be interested in listening to them. Good news. Hopefully. Now, here's maybe what could be considered the bad news. In an effort to find a solution, we got everything set up on PodBean, and I got everything set up on PodBean, and I tried to do a test run, just a trial run, to see how things would go. And we attempted this, me and 3 or 4 other people, attempted this past Wednesday. So there have been a lot of changes in a very short time, really rapid fire. Because with the test Wednesday, to see how things were working, whether or not my theory was sound about Skype, all of that, we uncovered a glitch. We uncovered a hiccup that I hadn't necessarily thought about. And that was, in order to access the live chat, or even leave a comment, you have to download the PodBean app, which is a free app, and you have to access that episode through your smartphone or other mobile device, be it a tablet, be it whatever. People that are accessing the show through a desktop or a laptop, PC, whether it's Apple, whether it's Windows, whatever, they can see what is going on in the live chat. And I can see that they're there, but they can't interact in the chat. You have to use the app with your smartphone or other mobile device to do this. Now, I've reached out to PodBean to see if this is something that has been given consideration to, or if it could be a feature in the future. And they have assured me that currently that is not an available feature on the website. It's only available through the app, but they can see where it is an important feature. They do track customer feedback, and they'll add it to the list, and as soon as they can get it added, if they can, they will let me know. Okay. That's great. That's wonderful. And I have to say that PodBean's customer service has been great. They've been right there anytime that I've had a potential concern, say, like this whole chat interaction. They've been right there for me, and that's great. Their customer service is phenomenal. So I'm liking that aspect of it. Now, the aspect that I don't like of it. I don't want to see anyone that follows the show, and neither does Chuck. We don't want to see anyone left behind. We don't want to see anyone who would like to interact with the live chat not to be able to. Now, granted, yeah, you have to sign up for a PodBean account. Yeah, you have to download the app if you want to leave a comment or access an episode from your... Well, you don't have to download it to access an episode from your phone or anything. You can just go to the website, find the episode, click play, and there you are. So that left me asking a lot of hard questions. Wednesday night, Thursday morning, maybe even Thursday afternoon. And in an effort to come to a viable solution for those that like to follow the show, we're here to tell you that we are going to have to roll out the live stream format sooner than expected. So, what does that mean for us, you may ask? Well, here's the thing. I know that you folks, you like to interact with live chat. Who doesn't? And I get that. And it doesn't fall on deaf ears. There were, when I found out or realized this live chat hiccup that could potentially leave some followers or listeners or friends out of the live chat, I was kind of, I was pretty concerned about it. Actually, I was very concerned about it. There were a few people specifically that came to mind right off the top of my head that I knew they access the show through their computer or laptop. And I can't blame them for that. You know, hey, you know me, I'm all about screen size too. You know, the larger the screen, the better. The larger the screen, oh, what ease it is to see you all with. So, I get it. And this really bothered me. So, I've reached out to a few of the listeners and voiced my concern that I didn't want to see them left behind for the show. I wanted them to continue to follow along on this journey that we all have fun with. And that is why we've been prompted to roll out the live stream format sooner than anticipated. So, disclaimer, PSA, call it what you want. We may have to work a few things out on the fly with the live stream format because at this point, I wanted to get the audio side of the show nestled back in and then focus on the live stream for those who may be interested in a video format podcast. But at this point, we don't have that luxury. You folks need a live chat to interact in. So, you could kind of say right now, we're fixing to jump off the diving board into the deep end, sink or swim. We'll see what happens. And we hope that you'll come along. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying don't jump in on the deep end and drown yourself. We can't rescue everybody. But at least come along and watch us jump into the deep end. No, it's not the polar bear plunge, but you could have some good laughs. Who knows? We try to get out there and we fall flat on our nose. I don't know. But we're willing to give it a shot because we recognize the importance of the chat interaction for all of you. And that's why tonight we are announcing. Here it is, folks. You might not have seen this one coming. Although, I'm sure some of you did. Because I know here I was trying to be all sneaky and do a little bit of testing the water this afternoon. And there's a couple of you out there that, you're pretty sneaky. Pretty sneaky. I figured I'd try to do this little test. Me and Chuck could give it a shot and see what happened. When all of a sudden people started dropping into the chat. Well, at that point, we're kind of caught with our hand in the cookie jar. So we ran anyway for a few minutes just to see. General consensus was everything seemed to be okay. Maybe a little bit of a lag with Chuck's internet from time to time, and we're working on that as well. Maybe a little bit of overmodulation on the bumpers, but we'll get that adjusted in the coming episodes. So here's the big news to take away from tonight's show. Tonight's episode, on this Saturday that we're never live anyway. The big news to take away is that for you folks that like to listen to the audio-only podcast, we are making sure that that is still available for you over on PodBean or your favorite podcast distribution service. For you folks that love to hit the archives on your commute to work or on a long trip, we're doing what we can to make sure that that is still available for you over on PodBean or your favorite podcast distribution service. And for you people that are interested in a video live stream, who knows? Not saying you may necessarily see me right away. Chuck's a more charismatic one anyhow. So we'll let him appear on camera. But for those folks that are interested in seeing a video live stream, not saying you have to watch the video, maybe you just have the video play and listen to it. Or folks that really enjoy, and I know how you do, that live chat interaction, we're making sure that that is available for you. Starting tomorrow, Sunday, January 14th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, And it goes on from there. You folks know how to calculate time zones. We're making sure that that is available for you. Where can we find the live stream, you may ask? In the links in the description for a few episodes, we've carried... people may have noticed that there was a link to a YouTube channel known as Ohio Metal Detecting. And that link has changed. Now it doesn't say Ohio Metal Detecting on YouTube. It says Beyond Sight and Sound on YouTube. We changed the profile picture on Ohio Metal Detecting probably a year and a half ago, just in case we would ever have to make the move to a live stream. Well, I'm here to tell you we're going to have to make the move. And in preparation for that, we also changed the name of the YouTube channel from Ohio Metal Detecting to Beyond Sight and Sound. So once again, it's the same name, the same wording, the same cover art, profile picture, on and on. And we did a test stream today. Now, what is the difference? Starting tomorrow, and I struggled with this for a while. I'm like, do we just go live on YouTube or do we multicast? So, starting tomorrow, we are going to multicast. So, for you Facebook fans out there, you'll be able to find us on Facebook. For you YouTube fans out there, or the people that don't use Facebook, you'll be able to find us on YouTube. And then the video will obviously archive on YouTube. You'll be able to see it then, so you don't have to catch it live. You can always catch it after the fact. You know how the live streams go on YouTube. Now, I will mention, for you folks that are live stream hitters, YouTube live stream hitters, obviously you know how the live chats go on YouTube. You have to respect one another and, follow YouTube's guidelines and all of this, that, and the other. So just be aware, there will be mods in the chat, because I don't want to have to, especially diving into the deep end, I can't deal with trying to make sure that things are running smoothly here and in the chat, or in the chat on multiple places. So we've got that. Even though the chat, the show and the chat may be available in more than one place. Some of the shows out there, they love to take the names from the different pages, wherever they're casting from, and that's great. And that works for them. That's great. But in my somewhat limited capacity, it's a little difficult for me to follow around to each page to try and collect everyone's names. So we will have a new method for some of our giveaways that we do. And once we get this live stream beast down, we will implement that into the live stream, where folks will actually, if we're doing a contest, a giveaway, just, we'll just say a random one-off. For example, the Silver Pack from Metal Detecting Central Illinois and Mike Lacomette. say if we were doing something like that, we will have a different format for the way people can get entered for that, and that we can give that away. I guess to find out how, you folks will have to tune in this Sunday, January 14th at 8 p.m., and you'll hear, not that we're giving away the silver pack yet, but you'll get to hear more about it, a bit of an introduction from us, because coming into YouTube, some people may not realize what's going on, or even on the Facebook side. So right now, we are looking at doing a live stream tomorrow. That's Sunday, January 14th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. We will have that on Beyond Sight and Sound on YouTube. You go over, you subscribe, click the notification bell, whatever you want to do. And then you would click on, across the top, you would see, videos, things like that. You would want to click the live, and you'll be able to find that then. So that's why we're letting everybody know now. And we'll have some posts out tomorrow about it too. As a matter of fact, I think we're going to go ahead, and not only are we going to try to go live on Beyond Sight and Sound on YouTube, but we will probably also be casting to the Metal Detecting Beyond Sight and Sound Facebook group, as well as our good friends over at Detect America. They have allowed us to cast over to the Detect America Facebook group. And who knows, maybe we'll cast to the Beyond Sight and Sound page on Facebook rather than the Facebook group. Because I know more people can find the page easier than the group, things like that. But you never know. If we start live streaming to the Beyond Sight and Sound Facebook group, I guess we just may have to open membership back up. So, as much as it pains me to say, c'est la vie, adios, good riddance to Spreaker. We are moving on to PodBean, the wonderful podcast distribution services that are out there, and also live streaming to YouTube on the Beyond Sight and Sound YouTube channel, and Facebook. And we do hope that you great folks come along. The ride could get bumpy. Buckle up. But it'll still be fun. That's about all I can say. And we know other people have been hearing us allude to possibly coming to YouTube, and they're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to seeing all of you there. Or on the podcast distribution services on Facebook. Hey, wherever we meet up, we'll be glad to see you. Thanks for being patient and hanging in there with us as we got through the situation at hand and made the transition. This is us transitioning. Signing off and signing out. Thanks again, folks. It's been a hell of a ride, and we're looking forward to continuing. We're going to get on out of here. Have a wonderful evening.
We sure are glad you found us here tonight. Thanks for dropping by and joining in. If you like metal detecting, treasure hunting, gold prospecting, or even entertaining discussion, check us out Wednesdays and Sundays, 8 p.m. Eastern, on your favorite podcast distribution services.